Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Girls Lounge with your hosts, Liz and KT. If you're new here, we're just two besties talking about whatever is on our mind. I've noticed a lot of new people on YouTube and Spotify. So, hello, welcome, and welcome back if you're not new here. But yeah, we just talk about our favorite things. F1, maybe tennis, what we're watching, da 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 da, just literally everything and about anyone. So, follow.
And if this is your first time listening to us, you chose a perfect episode because we're just going to be rambling a lot.
Yes, and this is very much needed. I'm feeling like I'm in a chatty mood today. But yeah, we'll just get into what we've been up to. So I have been at home for the past week. I was at my house in my bed, literally recording in the last episode. But today I'm back in my college apartment, as you can see if you are watching on YouTube. Yeah, my spring break, the last time I talked to you guys, the only thing I've done was go to DSW. But what else I did in that week is I got a new set of braids, as you can see, feeling like myself again. What else did I do? Oh, I went on a run one day, yep, and I'm gonna tell you all about it. Because wow, I did like a 20-minute like beginner run using the Nike Run Club, and wow, my lungs are on fire. I kind of took a break because like I ran like the day before, or like yeah, I think the day before I got my braids taken out. But then I did go on like a 20-minute walk another day, so that was nice too. Oh, and I had like a day out in Lexington because my dad was off, and it was a nice day. It was a really nice day because honestly, the weather was really like rainy and thundering and stuff. So it wasn't the best. And so I went to Barnes and Noble. I got two books. I got the new Hunger Games book. I really want to read that whole series during the summer. And then I got the Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. And then I also hit up Sephora and I got the like one of the new Laneige Glaze Craze lip gloss. Love them so much, and it smells so good. I got the chocolate glaze, yeah, chocolate glaze. Almost said flavor, color, yep. And then I also got that Tartelette mascara, tube mascara that Elizabeth was talking about. The way, literally, I okay. So then on Sunday I had a family function. It was my, I guess you would call it your great uncle because it's my dad's uncle because it's my grandma's brother. So it's his uncle, which I guess that would make him my great uncle. It was his 90th birthday, so we had like a family gathering at a restaurant. We like rented out the bottom in Louisville, and my aunt was there, and she thought I had eyelash extensions on. She was like, "Oh my gosh, girl, you got eyelashes on?" Like, no, it's really just mascara. So I would recommend those, that product because someone thought I had falsies on behind my glasses. So that's how you know it was good. But yeah, that's pretty much all I did. Just saw some people. When I realized I'm that family member where okay, so I've always been like, I know in the future I'm gonna be that family member that like doesn't come around, and every family gathering, people are gonna be like, "Oh my god, I haven't seen you in forever." That was literally everyone at this function. They're like, "Oh my gosh, Kennedy, how are you doing? We haven't seen you in forever." I'm like, and I'm like, wow, not me being that family member already. At least they know what to expect in the future. But yeah, that was my spring break. It was very much needed. I feel like I was very zen. I'm feeling very zen now. I haven't really felt that much anxiety since being back, and I'm not feeling as overwhelmed. I definitely, reflecting now, I was definitely very like burnt out and overwhelmed with everything going into spring break, but now I just feel a lot more calmer, everything more figured out in terms of grad school and just the rest of the semester. And I am ready to graduate.
You know, I also want to read the new Hunger Games, like the new series, the new book and the series. And I'm trying to figure out, like, is it smarter to read it in the order that they came out, or should I read it like with the new book first? I'm trying to figure out what the people are saying.
I feel like it probably doesn't really matter for real. Like, I plan on just reading it in the order they came out in, because, like, that's the way I watch the movies. So, I don't know. That's just what I would do.
We'll see what I end up doing. And then my other little comment was Kennedy basically just listening to all my recommendations. I'm over here influencing her because I told her to download the Nike Run Club app, told her about the the mascara. She just influenced by me. What can I say?
Yep, her and Kelsey. We look that bag. I don't even know what else, but
The Laneige thing.
yep, that. So literally just like Kelsey and Elizabeth are my personal influencers. And then I'm the personal influencer for my mom because I made myself some sleepy time tea last night. And I told my mom, I was like, I feel like it low key kind of worked, even though I didn't drink a lot because I burnt my tongue. It was too hot. So I didn't fully drink it all. And she was like, I think I'm gonna get some too. She wanted an update on how my mascara came on because she was like, I might get some too. I'm like, see, I be influencing her.
It's just all a little domino effect.
Right.
And then for my little life update, I did a little bit of traveling, this weekend and during the week. So last Wednesday, the 19th, it was like a holiday here in like the community that I'm living in. So we didn't have any classes, and it's because it was Father's Day, which I got a little scared that I missed like saying Father's Day to my dad, but they do it early here in Spain. But there was this like festival in Valencia, which I went there in January, and it's only like 2 hours away from where I'm living. And at this festival, they make these like huge sculptures. Like if you look them up online, it's actually insane. But there's these really big sculptures that I don't know what they're made of. But, like the interior is like wood, and I guess the outside's like something that's very easy to burn. But it has like these huge structures with lots of details and everything, and they burn these at the end of the day. So I took a train with me and my friend. I mean, we're there all day, and the way there's firecrackers going off all day, literally little kids throwing firecrackers at each other, throwing them in the middle of the street. It was like I don't know. Personally, like coming from the US where like I feel like you hear the sounds of like gunshots or something and you get scared. I did not get used to hearing the firecrackers because literally every single time I'd hear one, I would like shake a little. But we just kind of like walked around the town in Valencia and everything. All like the streets were closed because of the sculptures, and it was really cool seeing these sculptures. A lot of them had like little like social critiques. There was one sculpture that had Trump and Elon, and Trump was like in a mini skirt and his beer belly was out and everything. I'll send you a picture, Kennedy. But yeah, it was really cool. And then at 2 p.m., they had like in their main, kind of like their town hall square, all of these firecrackers and fireworks went off, and it was like smoke literally like everywhere, and it was like full of people there. And then at night, they would burn these structures, like just put firecrackers along the structure and then just like set them off. And then you just hear like boom, 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 and then it would catch fire. It was a very interesting celebration holiday that I feel like I will never experience anywhere else. But we just went for the day, and then we came back. We like took a bus at 12:30 in the morning, and then we got back here at like 3. So it was a long day, but it was a lot of fun. I think the craziest thing for me was the little kids throwing firecrackers because they would literally have like a little cardboard, not cardboard, a little wood box around their neck, and that's where they'd have, I guess, their firecracker stuff. And there was these two little kids when we were eating our lunch, and they were just throwing them at each other, or like they would throw them up in the sky, or you'd be walking and they just throw them in the street. It was very interesting experience. And then so that was on Wednesday, and then over the weekend I went to Morocco. We went to Marrakesh. We did a little desert tour in the Sahara. It was very, very cool. Did some camel riding. Let me tell y'all something they don't warn you about for camel riding. I am so sore between my legs, sore. And then why did I wake up and it feels like I did a whole arm workout? I guess like holding onto the thing. It's also a very bumpy ride. I don't know why I thought the camel like hunchback was like very like, like a little mountain, a little curve. No, it's kind of like square like. I don't know. It was it was camels are some interesting animals. But yeah, we did that. We did the little camp and everything. Yeah, I'll let you go ahead and ask your questions, Kennedy.
Well, first, I have a comment about the firecrackers. When you were talking about it, it just reminded me of the scene in The White Lotus where basically, like, it's the same thing what you're describing, except it was with like water guns in like Thailand or something, and just like the ladies that are like these American tourists were just so like like scared, like scary. And I feel like that would be me with them firecrackers. Like I'm all about respecting cultures, but I'm like, don't throw no firecrackers on me because I do not play. And then Morocco, yeah, I was low key worried about this because I was like, I haven't heard from her in a while. Is she okay? Oh, go into depth about like you being off the grid.
Yes. So like I was off the grid. I did not have service because I didn't like pay for like any data or like anything when I was in Morocco because I was like, I'm only gonna be here the weekend. And I was like, in the desert, is there even like cell towers? Like, why am I gonna pay for something and I can't even use it? So I didn't have anything. There was like two or three, there's like three girls in our group that they had service. So like it wasn't like we were like completely off the grid or anything, you know. But I was off the grid. I like got so we got into Marrakesh Friday night and I literally I think I didn't text anyone. I just texted my mom just letting her know like, "Oh, I made it fine." And I had like air I had Wi-Fi at our Riyadh that we stayed at. But like since then, I was off the grid, y'all. I was disconnected from the world. I literally haven't posted anything on social media either, but disconnected from the world, just out there, you know, out in the desert. There was actually like service there was service in the desert though because one of my friends she like I like look over and she's on FaceTime with her parents showing them like her on the camel and everything. So like there was service. But I was just disconnected from everything. And then I like texted in our group chat like letting them know like I'm alive.
No, that's so funny. Did y'all get to keep pictures like cartwheeling in the sands?
I don't have any cartwheeling, but I do have so many pictures. Our like shared album is just like every time someone adds, everybody adds like 100 plus photos because everybody has so many pictures of everyone, especially like on the camels. And on the camels, it would be I would like try to take pictures, but like I said, bumpy rides. So the live photos are actually really funny to look back at. And then at night, so we were in the like on our tour. It was all day Saturday and then Sunday, like part of the day Sunday and on Saturday, when we like slept at the desert and everything at the camp, they did like a little bonfire and they did like music, like dancing, singing, all that kind of stuff. And then people did sandboarding, like snowboarding, but in the sand. I personally did not partake because I can't snowboard and I just wasn't feeling that, you know. But I like me and my friends, we like laid out and just looked at the stars because it was really crazy, like seeing the stars, the amount of stars in the sky. I've never seen anything like that. I think we literally just laid there for like 2 hours just looking at the stars and then just like laughing about things. Definitely was giving like our friend group Kennedy. Yeah, we need to get there.
I was gonna be petty and be like, so which friends do you like better?
There goes Kennedy trying to stir up the pot in our little group chat. Kennedy always be instigating and saying stuff. Don't let her fool you guys. She a number one instigator.
And I am. I used to want to be working like, investigative stuff. But let's see. Yes, we need to add Morocco. I watched this one vlog a long time ago. Well, okay, it wasn't that long time ago. It was like last semester of this girl who went to Morocco as part of like her friend study abroad thing, and it looked so freaking cool. And like she stayed in the desert too. So when y'all stayed so like y'all slept in the desert.
Yeah, it was actually like really nice, not gonna lie. It was this campsite and everything. So there was like different it wasn't tents, but like tents, you know? And some of them had like 4 beds, some of them had 3 beds. And there was like other people there. There was like some other like American study abroad people. There was like these two like older couples, like French couples. Like there was like a lot of different people there. And we slept there. It did get so like it wasn't cold, but at night, I did get a little cold in the tent, not gonna lie. I had to like grab an extra blanket, but like they had blankets and everything. They had like chargers. You know, I really thought I was gonna be out there like no charger, no nothing. They did have like not chargers in the rooms, like it was kind of like community chargers, but like nothing was gonna happen to your stuff. And then the bathroom was actually pretty big, pretty nice. Yeah, but it was out in like in the desert. Like the pictures I have, it's literally sand mountains and then like the little campsite.
Honestly, that just sounds so nice. Just be out in the desert and just vibing, especially if you're like unplugged. It's gonna be retreat vibes. See, that's the vibe I was trying to have for my for my spring break, except I was plugged in the whole time. But yeah, that sounds so nice. And also, Liz did send me the picture, y'all, of that nasty orange man that's our president and Elon Musk, and it's actually so funny.
You'll have to insert it, Kennedy, so the viewers can see.
I will. And where was this at again? This was in the
That
when
was
y'all
in
went to
Valencia at
Valencia.
the like
Mhm.
firecracker festival.
Me trying to read even though I can't read Spanish. I'm like, so what did they say?
Oh, girl, the words on that. So, side note, before we go back to Morocco, in Valencia, and they speak like one of like the main languages is Valencian. So like a lot of the structures, all the writing was like in Valencian, which is some of the stuff I can figure out because it's kind of similar to Spanish, but I kind of imagine it as like a mix of like Spanish and Italian. But they like speak Valencian as that's like one of the obviously it's Spanish too, but like that's the official language, I guess.
Wow, that's cool.
And then I also okay, we're going back to Morocco. We're just going back and forth, you guys. Like I said, we rambling today. But on our way to like on to the camp and everything on Saturday, we stopped at this little village in Kennedy. So this little village, it's all like cutesy vibes, you know, like desert, you know, all that. But apparently they filmed a lot of like movies and TV shows here. Like they filmed Gladiator, I don't know, they filmed hella stuff there. But tell me why our tour guide was telling us that last week they had just wrapped up filming and Tom Holland was there. Yeah.
Was it Odyssey?
Yeah.
Is that what they're
With Zendaya? Yeah. So like literally last week, 10 days ago or something, Tom Holland and Zendaya were literally there.
Shut up. That's insane. Oh my gosh.
I could not believe it. And then like he showed us like when we were like walking around like the town or whatever, you could see them like tearing down like the set and stuff. It was really crazy. And then they he showed us also, guess what else they filmed? And I got to see the like spot Outer Banks. Yeah.
Oh
Where
my gosh,
Jay
I
J
forgot they
dies.
yeah, I forgot they filmed that in Morocco. Cause I remember like it got like there were pictures. I was like, what are they doing in Morocco? Oh my gosh. I totally forgot all about that.
Yeah. And like he showed us the spot like in the scene where JJ dies, like where that door or whatever, and his dad shoots him and like he's there. Yeah. That was actually crazy.
That's insane.
Like the fact Tom Holland was just there with Zendaya.
Like, bruh. And like that's a stacked cast too. I can't think of who else is in that cast at this moment, but like I'm jealous.
Exactly. And he showed us like pictures of like some of like because apparently like the local people obviously like, they be like extras and stuff. And he showed us pictures of him being extras and some of this stuff. And I was like, that's actually insane. Like I guess I don't know. I hadn't wrapped my head around obviously movies are filmed in like actual places, I guess.
When I go to New York this summer, I hope I see something, someone. Please, I'll be a background in something. Please let me.
Do you have any more questions about anything?
I do not.
That's all I have then for my little life update for you guys.
So now we're gonna get into our favorites of the week. So mine is my McLaren zip up because you guys, I have literally like okay, I'm also not wearing it now, but literally over spring break and then like in the mornings when I get ready, I literally live in that zip up. Like I just throw it on, like it's just so cozy. Like it was kind of more of an expensive item because you know it was coming from Abercrombie and you know it was a collab with McLaren. So of course you know it's gonna be more on the expensive side, but I feel like it's worth all your money. Like McLaren has such good collabs with other brands and like it's good quality and it's just so warm. And I literally have been wearing it literally days in a row. And I promise you guys it's not dirty, it doesn't smell, or I wouldn't be wearing it, but I just love it. So yeah, that's my favorite of the week.
You're just getting your money's worth, you know? That's what you gotta do.
That part.
And then my favorite of the week, I have two things. The first one is my Kindle. I love that thing, you guys. Like the amount of reading I've done is all on my Kindle right now because I obviously didn't bring any books with me because that takes up too much space. So I just download stuff on my Kindle and then I'm good to go be reading on the like Morocco, the bus ride, it was kind of long out into the desert from Marrakesh. So you best believe I was switching between my Netflix and then my Kindle, just you know, back and forth. And then my other favorite of the week is my $20 scarf that I got. Crying emoji. So at that little village that we stopped at, they were like showing us and everything, and I think we low-key got scammed a little bit because they were telling us like, oh, so we had like scarves with us that we had brought from like Spain to for you know the camel riding, covering up and all that kind of stuff, and they were like, you need like specific kind of scarf because like it's so windy and like the wind comes through the scarf and all this stuff and like blah 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 blah. It was very much, maybe it was not windy day, but it was not windy when we were out there. So I definitely feel like I was might have been scammed. $20 for a scarf, that's kind of pricey. I would never pay that much, but I'm justifying it as it's super cute. It added to the outfits. It's a scarf, it's a towel, it's a blanket. We're even gonna make these scarves into tops. Getting my money's worth from this scarf, but I really did like it. It's really cute. So
Yeah, I was gonna say that definitely sounds like a scam, but hey, at least you're gonna find different ways to use it. We all love a multi-purpose product, so maybe it wasn't a bad purchase at the end of the day.
exactly. Like literally the whole trip, it just became a running joke. Like me and my friends would be like, "Oh, like here's another use for our scarf." Like, because I wasn't the only one, obviously, that gave into this trap, but it added stuff. We're no regrets, no regrets.
And now we are going to get into our sports corner. You guys, we have a lot to talk about today. So, the China Grand Prix just happened and it was a sprint weekend. And unpopular opinion, I love sprint weekends. The first ever race I watched was a sprint weekend in Miami. So I'm a big what's it called? Supporter of sprint weekends. But one thing I do have to say is before the race, well, before what I'm about to say, I will say there wasn't like that many like media comments I feel like I need to comment on, but non-media stuff and kind of like superficial stuff. You guys, Alexandra's weekend outfits by your her okay, first of all, her outfits always hit. Like, sorry to argue with your mother, she is a fashion icon and she did study art history, and I feel like you can tell by her outfits. Like, I feel like if you're an art history major, you probably have a good eye for fashion, and that is very apparent. I don't know, I don't follow her on Instagram, so I don't know if she posted her outfits. Liz, have you seen her outfits?
Oh, trust, I just now pulled it up. She did not post her outfit on Instagram. Wait, yes, she did. She has like a little dump post where you can kind of see it, the longer dress, but this outfit looks so good. Like she is that girl. Everybody wants to be her. Yeah, these outfits ate.
Yeah, my favorite look isn't posted on her Instagram, but it was a look that she did. It was either a
Friday,
practice.
the short one.
Yep, the
That's
red
her
and
first
black one. Yep, that was my favorite. Like, she ate that down so bad, and like the little clutch she had. Apparently, it's like very like limited. Like, it's like one of nine, and it's like something that has to do with Charles Leclerc. Like, it's his car. I'm gonna have to look that up real quick because I feel like it's really cool. So you can say something while I look that up.
all I have to say is crying in the club if it has to do with him. The sunglasses too, and then just like the little red detailing. Yeah, she is that girl. Do I want to be here? Yes. Yes, I do.
Honestly, I just want to be her friend. Like, she just seems so cool.
Oh, the little red shoes that like complement the dress. Yeah. The F1 girlfriends, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing with these outfits, especially Alex.
LOL at me still looking. Why does Instagram suck? This is why TikTok is always the go-to for looking up stuff because they're always gonna have it.
First mistake, Kennedy going.
No, for real.
Side note, I got this one TikTok of Alex Albon, the helmet stuff, how it's all like a little thing for his girlfriend. But I died, Kennedy. I passed away.
Wait, what TikTok?
Like his helmets, Alex Albon's helmets are like a tribute to his girlfriend. Like one of them had to do with like a panda or something, and the town where she's from is apparently the sanctuary of pandas. And then they had a photo shoot there. Yeah,
Stop. That's so cute. I was trying to figure out like the specifics of the car. But yeah, I saw this comment and it says it's a bag that is one of nine designed for her boyfriend's Ferrari, like his actual like Ferrari that that he like drives on the road. So I just thought that was really cool.
it's the same like design, like the three lines in the middle and the black. Yeah,
Yeah, very cool. So I just like she just needed a moment in our recap. But now, let's see. I watch the first practice? I can't remember. Wait, yeah, I'm pretty sure I did watch the first practice. It was just on for noise, and then I didn't watch sprint qualifying. That's what I didn't watch. But then I did watch the sprint race. It was pretty eventful, I would say. I feel like sprint races are always pretty fun. They're a little like they can be a little more interesting than like practices, in my opinion. But it was the first Lewis Hamilton win in red. So we love that. We love to see it. I was so happy from that. When I thought it was gonna be a Ferrari weekend, and I was so excited. I was like, "Oh my gosh! Like Lewis Hamilton is gonna win!" And I'm so excited. Well, that didn't happen. But I was so excited to just see Lewis happy and just yeah, because honestly, as a McLaren and Ferrari fan, like honestly, I would say pretty equally. It honestly depends on the weekend, whether who I'm rooting for, specific drivers, whatever team I want to be on top. And so honestly, after the sprint, I was like, oh yeah, this is Ferrari's weekend. I am ready for a Ferrari 1 2. Maybe it'll be McLaren's week next week. But I was so excited. But no, that didn't happen. But we'll get into that later. Quali, the only thing I really have to say, a big shock was Liam Lawson out in Q1, but low key some breaking news happened before recording, but we'll get into that later in our recap. And then Jack Doohan out in Q1, which I just had to mention because I'm just like, I want better for you. I'm like, it's like hard to say too much because I'm like, it literally only is the second race. Like we still have so many more episodes. Like there's 24 races. Wait, I'm pretty sure I just said episodes. I meant to say there are many more races left, not episodes. So yeah, we'll just see if Jack Doohan can get a hold of the Alpine car or the Alpine car. I don't know why I said Alpine. And then I was really happy leaving quali. This was when I realized, oh, maybe it's not gonna be a Ferrari weekend because Oscar qualified pole. So I was super happy about that. I can't remember where the Ferraris were at. And then in terms of the race, the results were Oscar P1, Lando P2, and George Russell P3. Let's just leave it to George to always just be there. He is just always there, respect. But yeah, I was a little nervous within the opening lap because it seemed like, Lando and Max and just the other people they was really gunning for that spot. I was like, come on, Oscar. And he successfully pulled away and it was so good. And I loved it. I also think Haas and Williams had a good performance. More so Alex, I would say. A lot of people I feel like are already being hard on Carlos, but like Alex Albon has been with this car a lot longer than Carlos. So like obviously it's gonna take Carlos a little while.
Yes, I feel like Alex Albon be being slept on, even on like what I'm watching on Drive to Survive and everything. He has such a good personality. I love his personality, and he be like up there, like qualifying and everything. He always be up there. He's always scoring points. Like people just hating.
Exactly. And like in the most recent season of Drive to Survive, like Alex Albon, like he was that boy back in the karting days. Like he had a really good junior career. And I feel like that has kind of gotten kind of like forgotten, lost in the shadows just because he's been at Williams. But Williams, Liz, you're gonna get all the lore about everything and just like Alex Albon's career. Where is he at in season 1? Not to spoil what you're watching.
Think we really talked about him too much, honestly. But Williams is not doing good in season one. They are about to be no more.
Oh Lord. I need to go back and watch that because that is just like a whole experience. But yeah, I was happy to see Haas perform better as well because Ollie did not have the best first weekend. Neither really did what's his teammate Esteban. Yep, him Esteban Ocon either. It was really funny when Ollie was saying "ciao" after overtaking people. It was annoying because people were complaining about that too. I only heard him say it once though. I don't know. Maybe people are like watching his onboards. They're like, it was just a bit too much. And I'm just like, whatever. He has the right to say it. He's overtaking people in an F1 car. And then yeah, I said people need to stop sleeping on Alex because yes, stop sleeping on Alex. And then Kimmy and the RBs are really impressing me. Like, okay, Kimmy, like I don't want to say I was doubting you, but you are a rookie. So, I was like, we'll see how he'll perform considering, they chose you over potentially Carlos Sainz for that Mercedes seat. So, but, it's seeming like Toto's project Verstappen is working out well for whenever George inevitably leaves in the future because Kimmy is still very young. And yeah, the RBs seem to be a lot faster and better than they were last season.
Kimmy has been he's been scoring points both races so far, right? I believe.
He has.
Look at me, just knowing what I'm talking about. But like out of all the rookies, he's been up there. Like he is doing his thing. He is getting those points. He's definitely gonna be like that. They're coaching him, they're getting him ready.
Exactly, exactly. He might be the next Max Verstappen, except he'll be his own Kimi Antonelli. So I'm excited to see where like his career goes. And then post race drama, you guys. So, because the races were at 3 a.m., I recorded them and then watched them in the morning when I woke up. So, and I said, I'm not going on my phone at all. No social media. I'm not risking anything. Literally wake up, roll over, turn on the race. Literally the first thing I do when I wake up. And imagine my shock when I woke up and saw that there were 3 disqualifications when I opened up Instagram after finishing the race. And y'all want to know who it was? Charles Lewis and Pierre Gasly. You guys, I was shook. I was like, yeah, I was not expecting that. So while they're disqualified, Charles and Pierre had underweight cars. If you don't know, their cars get weighed. I'm pretty sure before, and I know always after, just to make sure they're like within the requirements, because you don't want little things happen that can like help give them an advantage. So like for example, their cars were like underweight, that can give them like an advantage to like go faster or whatever. And then Lewis's skid block was under the minimum thickness. If you're like me, I did not know what a skid block was. Like, I'm still trying to learn the more technical things of F1. Listen, I'm going step by step. I feel like my whole last season, I was trying to remember what DRS is. And now this season, I'm like, okay, let me figure out the tire strategy. So now we're going to try to move into the more technical aspects of the car. So I looked it up, and apparently the skid block thing is when teams strategically attach a titanium block on a wood plank, which then hits the ground when the cars bottom out. The titanium blocks on the plank take the hit from the ground at high speed when the downforce is strong to prevent the wood from being destroyed. So take that as you will. And so his skid block after the race was not under the minimum thickness. So he was disqualified. So that was really upsetting. But a win is a win because it meant that Carlos was in the points.
You gotta take every win, no matter how small it is. The way Kenny was over here, she was like, I was rooting for Ferrari, it was gonna be a Ferrari weekend, and then they both get disqualified. Yeah, that was actually kind of crazy. I don't know. I feel like not that it was a dumb disqualification, but I feel like it was a dumb disqualification in the sense of how you gonna put them in an underweight car and then like how are you gonna put them in a car that's not meeting the requirements? I feel like that should be the first thing that you're doing is meeting the requirements, and then from there like strategizing and all that stuff. But I don't really know how much goes into the decision making here, but I feel like it was like the higher ups, were y'all sleeping? Did you like not get enough rest? Like this could have been easily avoided.
I think it just like sometimes there's just like factors because I know like Charles had like a little oopsies. He hit Lewis accidentally in the race. And then like it was probably just like little things because a lot be happening during the race. So I just feel like it was just one of those things happen. It's just one of those stupid like technical things that just have to happen. But yeah, I was like, wow. And I'm like, good thing I stayed off social media because I would have been pissed if I spoiled that for myself while watching the race because I was trying so hard, like, do not get on social media until I finish this race. But yeah, so that's what happened there. Surely in Japan they got everything fixed and they do not get disqualified. And then next, I can't believe we're already talking about this, and that is just rumors that Yuki will replace Liam for the next race, which before we get into that, I feel like I feel like there's a bigger problem. Everyone's kind of realizing it's a bigger problem than the driver. A lot of people are like, Checo has been saying this, which he has been saying this, which, oh my gosh. I can't wait till Liz gets to that part in Drive to Survive because that's like one of my favorite parts about like the foreshadowing to like what is life right now. Checo has been saying the car is messed up, and until now, everyone's just been like, it's just a driver problem. But I feel like now people are kind of opening their eyes. So like maybe it's not a driver problem. But I guess we'll see after Japan. So the RB underscore daily or not Instagram, Twitter posted that Yuki Tsunoda has been promoted to Red Bull starting from the Japanese Grand Prix, and Liam Lawson will return to the Racing Bulls after just 2 races, which I think is insane. I just thought they would give Liam more of a chance because, like come on out. Like it's 2 races. I feel like booting someone after 2 races is kind of extreme, but I do think Yuki does deserve a chance. But I'm just interested to see what happens because what happens if Yuki is not performing as well as Liam. But I will say Liam literally qualifying last does help him out a bit because like you're already down, you can only go up from down, you know what I mean? And then I'm like, well then what happens if Liam goes to Racing Bulls or when he goes to Racing Bulls and he gets outperformed by Isaac Hadjar. What are they gonna do now? They're gonna get somebody else in that seat? Like, it's just a whole mess at the Red Bull organization for real.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like really crazy to see if it is the car or if it's the driver. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a big Liam Lawson fan, I'm not gonna lie. I have no real mercy for that man. I don't know, I feel like he said some season 7, he was doing some crazy stuff. I know it is like, dramatized and like blown out of proportion, but still, he said what he said. But I do think it is kind of crazy that it was only like 2 races. Like there's still 22 more races to go, and they already like booting him. I guess Red Bull is playing no games. They do not want McLaren to win that constructors championship, and they're not taking any risks. But might be the car issue. But yeah. And before we get into our little fantasy update, I'm intrigued by this update. I don't even know, don't remember who I had last race. I don't think I gained any points. But anyways, besides the point. I don't know if it's just my For You page. I don't know if I think your For You page has also been like giving this Kennedy. And if anyone out there is listening, let us know how your For You pages are looking like. But the TikTok like edits, or like the TikTok just accounts for like F1 teams and everything, whoever they got in the social media up there is doing their thing, because they are feeding the fans what they want to be fed. All of the like stuff I've gotten about like what is it, George Russell being like the dad to what's his name,
Kimmy?
yes, to Kimmy and everything, and like Kimmy's like following him like a little lost puppy. Like these TikToks are eating, and some of them were coming from like the Red Bull, not Red Bull, from the Mercedes like account and everything, like social media and F1, they are doing their thing, and they need to keep it up because they are feeding the fans.
I will say, when I got into F1, like almost low key, almost a year ago, around this time, one thing that really drew me in was just how these teams use social media so well. And like in this essay, I will, I just have to say, like, tennis, okay, now I'm talking about tennis, but tennis is like, they're trying to like kind of do what F1's doing. But I'm like, y'all need to start with social media, because that is really what will draw people in. Like, that's what got me to stay, or like not stay, but like keep me like engaged and connected and learn about everything, was through social media. And I have to say, the Racing Bulls TikTok, funny. They be having Yuki and Isaac like acting and stuff, and it is so good. They did like Keeping Up with the Kardashians sound, and it was so funny. Like they did one where it's like, "Ugh, I have a busy week. I have no boo on Thursday," and it was just so good.
Yes, and like I would be like so surprised when I was like scrolling, and like some of these accounts were like official accounts. Like it wasn't like a fan making a little edit or like making a fan video. No, like it was coming like from the actual like verified accounts. And I'm like, they're listening to what the fans are saying, and they're like feeding into it, which is even better. And then I don't know if you've seen, I'll send you some TikToks you need, but there's this one account which is like a fan, and it goes to like the Bridgerton sound. And it's like, dearest gentle reader, and it does like little updates of like what's going on in the races, and the way that they like word everything, so good. Whoever's running that account, you are doing your thing.
Yeah, I've gotten that account on my For You page, and there's another account that I love, because I don't watch like press conferences and stuff, but they do. They have like that classic sound that's like dun, 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 and they're like best moments from like media day, best moments for da da da, and I love it so much.
Yeah, I just had to like shout out the social media for F1 because they're doing their thing. If anyone's listening, we can help you with that too.
No, for real, please let us be U.S. ambassadors, please. We're begging, and please, y'all, if I don't win the Miami GP giveaway, I have been entering for days in a row. The giveaway closes like April 2nd. I have been every day since I saw it. I have been entering every day multiple times a day. If I do not win, I will be exposing them on TikTok and this podcast. So F1 Miami, please invite us. Thank you.
And now the moment we've been waiting for, the fantasy F1 update, this race, it was a little different from our first time doing this. There was no cheating involved from alleged groups. It was all up to chance, and we're gonna see like how we're doing, because because of the cheating last time, some parties are ahead than others.
I don't know what Liz talking about with this cheating thing, but let's go back to the F1 fantasy document. So, just to recap, I had Charles and Nico, so it wasn't a good time for me. And Liz had Yuki and George Russell, so I gained no points this race. So I'm still at 56 points. And then Liz now has 12 points. She gained 15 points because George was third place. Finished ahead of teammate was also George, I believe. 3 points. I don't think you gained any points from Yuki, but at least you're on the leaderboard now.
What can I say? The alleged parties weren't cheating, so we were even playing field. And if anything, that party, karma came for them.
I don't know what Liz talking about because she didn't even get points off of one of her driver. So I feel like that is karma. I mean, that is karma. Oh my gosh. I saw the adios Liam Lawson at the pop culture trending topic. So like my brain went into like Spanish mode, I guess. I don't know. And so we will draw next week, you guys, since there's not a race, unfortunately. But I need a break already. Like they are tiring me out, JK. But I'm super excited for Japan.
And now we're going to move on to our little pop culture trendy topics. And we're apparently still on the sports theme here. Tiger Woods is apparently dating a little Vanessa Trump, you know. Many thoughts.
Yeah, so we already know Tiger Woods is not for the black people. I feel like that's already been confirmed. Let me look up who. Okay, I was like, I have to remember who Vanessa Trump is because like she isn't like a Trump like family person. She just married into the family. So Vanessa Trump was Donald Trump Jr.'s ex-wife, and like I don't care about Tiger Woods. I don't watch golf. Like literally, gun to my head, watch a golfer die. Tell my mom I love her. I'm not watching golf. So I really just wanted to come on here because I saw these TikToks. And I'm just like, I need to bring this to the podcast to like see if anyone else can relate. But does anyone else remember when we were younger and on the news they had Tiger Woods just blasted everywhere because he was cheating? Like, I genuinely thought he did something terrible. Like I really thought he was like a murderer. Like I really thought he was a terrible, down bad person. Whole time he just cheated. Which cheating is a bad thing, but like I think like I low key thought it was illegal when I was younger. Like, does anyone else remember that? Like I feel like that's a core memory for so many people.
I am not in that group.
Maybe it's just because my mom had the news on all the time when I was younger. Like I always saw the news, especially when I was younger. She would do my hair in the morning, so the news would be on, either the news or Arthur. So I just remember seeing like Tiger Woods cheating, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, like he's going to jail. He's a bad person." Like it really was like that deep for me. So yeah, it's just funny seeing that discourse come up again. Tiger Woods dating a Trump babe. Who's surprised? Not me.
Honestly, kind of crazy that she kept the last name if she married into it.
That's what I'm saying. I never get that. Like when people marry into like these bigger families and then they divorce and they just keep the name. I'm like, why? I guess maybe because like legally, paperwork and all that stuff, then you have to get it changed again. But like, I wouldn't want to be stuck with that last name.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Especially that last name, immediately changing it. I'm not trying to be associated.
But I'm sure she's just as bad as them, to be honest.
I mean, she is with him, so.
That part. And then next, I will say, this is not like gonna be a deep dive about what I'm about to say next because y'all, I was not trying to do all that, but I feel like we have to talk about it. But Hailey Bieber and Justin Bieber, the Biebers, they're beefing with Selena again. So apparently this all started, I saw like there's like a 9 episode documentary podcast type thing that came out, basically just going through like Hailey Bieber being like a stalker and just like, you know, being there when like she was a Justin Bieber fan and basically got with like her celebrity crush, which is like the ultimate goal of like any girl. But I feel like we all knew that, so like it wasn't like a surprise to me. But people were saying like she did like some crazy things, like it was actually like crazy. And they feel like, you know, that she kind of like trapped him, blah 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 blah. And then just between that and then Selena's new album with Benny Blanco, is that his name, Benny Blanco? Yeah, that just came out, and apparently like Justin Bieber like texted Selena Gomez like 23 times on like his wedding day. He's crashed out sometimes. She called him like irrelevant, and like apparently there's been like some shady posts that Justin Bieber has made recently on his Instagram, like low-key responding to these lyrics, and it's just a whole mess. I'm like, leave Selena alone. Like Justin Bieber has crashes out every time she does something. Like I feel like there was something else I saw where he like crashed out because like she was with somebody, and like but he was supposed to be with Hailey Bieber. I don't know. It was like very weird. And I just think that Hailey and Bieber, not Hailey and Bieber, Hailey and Justin just need to like leave it. Please leave it. I'm just over just stop being petty. Like Yeah, that's all I have to say, to be honest.
At first, when I read this on our outline, I don't know, my mind, it just put words in there, and I thought that it said Justin Bieber cheated on Hailey Bieber with Selena. I don't know what I was going through, but the way I was so shook, I was about to call you Kennedy. I was be like, what the heck? What is going on? What rock was I living on in Morocco? I got really scared for a second, but glad that it's just, the regular. And now we're gonna go ahead and move on to our what we're watching. I'll go ahead and go first because Kenny was on spring break, so she was watching some stuff. She was catching up on things. But I've just been watching Drive to Survive. I finished season 7, finally the like last 5 minutes that I have left, and I'm watching it from the beginning. So I'm on season 1. I'm almost done with season 1 actually. I think I have like 2 more episodes left, and it's just really crazy to see like where they were 7 years ago. I think. Yeah, I think it's like 2018 is season 1. So 7 years. Yeah. I haven't done math in a while, you guys. But yeah, I was imagining my fingers too giddy. um
Yeah, I was like, oh
oh no, you can continue.
no, I was just like, I knew season 4 is 2021, so I was like counting.
No, and then like just seeing like where they are in season 1 to like where I know we're currently at is really crazy because like Williams is they are struggling. They are very very much going through it, and then like the way I didn't know if there was like an India F1 team. That was actually really cool to see, not gonna lie. I'm assuming it's gonna become the team that Pierre is currently on.
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because the pinks, yeah. And then it's just really crazy to see Charles. He just got signed to Ferrari and he looks so young. And then he's like talking about like all his like his dad and like his godfather and all that stuff. And then just like seeing Carlos, he's in yellow. He's on Renault.
Yeah, Renault or
Mhm.
Renault. Yeah, that
Yeah,
team.
that team.
Wow.
I know they're not a
Throwback.
team anymore. So it's just like really crazy seeing like where all these teams are at. And then who else just got signed? Max, literally, it's his first season. He's already already getting hated on, but honestly, you can like really see like his talent. Like, he was doing his thing even in season 1, and like he's like grown to where he is. He, I he kept his character. His character just kind of grew. What else? What else is crazy kind of? Oh, also just seeing like some of the drivers that were in it then, or like some drivers that like Esteban in season 1, he loses his contract and now he's like driving. So it's really cool, I feel like, to see like how we're gonna get there. So, but yeah, I'm almost done with season 1, and that's what I've been watching.
And then for what I've been watching, yeah, buckle in, you guys, because I have a lot to talk about. Unfortunately, I was on spring break, but low key, I could have watched more. I'm gonna be honest, I could have, but I didn't. So yeah, so this is what I watched. So first, I watched this like docu series on HBO Max called "In the Eye of the Storm." Literally watched it in one sitting while I was taking down my braids. It was so good. It was mostly like about tornadoes. Yes, I have a weird thing about natural disasters, but now I feel prepared when a tornado comes and hits. If I'm still in Bowling Green, I will be prepared.
Yeah, I was gonna say, especially you living down there, if you guys didn't know anything, they stay getting hit by tornadoes. I feel like if there's a tornado in Kentucky, it's going down there. So stay safe, Kennedy.
Yeah, I don't know. I just have a weird fascination with natural disasters, especially tornadoes. Like they're just like nature is just so powerful. And one thing about me is I will not play with nature. Like I feel like a lot of like our friends sometimes in the past there's been like tornado warnings and like they played off, but I'm like no. One thing about me, my anxiety, I'm gonna be watching everything. Like I have an app on my phone where I can like see everything because like I do not play. But it's just like really cool. They also covered like the Maui fires that happened, some hurricanes and stuff, some really sad stories. That snowstorm that happened a couple years ago. But yeah, it was a really good watch. And then you guys, Adolescence on Netflix. Again, watch this in one sitting. You guys, everyone needs to watch this show. I'm so serious. It's only 4 episodes, so it's an easy binge on Netflix, limited series. It wraps up. I don't want to over explain too much because all I know or all that I knew going into that show was it's about a young boy who is accused of murdering a girl in his grade. And he's like 13. And I feel like that's all you guys need to know. And that show is excellent. Like, I legit have not stopped thinking about that show since I finished it. Like, I just like it makes you kind of scared for like the state of boys our age and like there are just like so many scenes because I was texting with my friend Ariana about it because she also watched it And I was just like, it's kind of scary because it's so accurate. Like, especially there's one scene that's in a school, which every episode is shot in one shot, which is very, very, very cool. I need to watch the behind the scenes, but like just the way the kids were acting, and I just feel like the show is like a very good example of like why men like Andrew Tate and just that like incel culture is like very dangerous, because women at the end of the day pay the price for that. So I'll leave you with that. And it's just a must watch show. And I feel like, especially if a parent has someone with boys, watch that show. Like, I'm scared to have a boy. I'm like, how do I protect them from this stuff? But yeah, it's a really good show that really makes you think. And yeah, I'm still thinking about that show to this day. I finished School Spirit season 2, which, you guys, that cliffhanger, I am shook. It did get renewed for season 3, and I'm gonna need season 3 immediately. Because what do you freaking mean? It ended off that way. I'm obsessed with Milo Mayhem, like always. Obsessed with Peyton List, like always. But I'm just like, wow, there's a lot that needs to be answered in season 3. And then the next thing I'm gonna mention that I watched, don't watch it. As a natural disaster docuseries documentary expert, do not watch it. It was called The Twister Caught in the Storm. It was made by Netflix, so I should have known. It was not very good. I just did not like the storytelling of it, honestly. It was very like dramatized, of course. I feel like that's like Netflix's thing. So I did not really like it. And then I started Temptation Island. I've only watched the first episode. Again, Ariana, she is like my TV show movie person. Like, we texted about White Lotus, we texted about adolescence, and now she told me that like I need to watch Temptation Island. So I have started, and I'm gonna watch more while I do work after this call is over. It's a very messy concept, so I'm excited. I feel like it's probably not as good as it is in other countries. I don't really know what other countries have it except for Spain. I think we all know Montoya Please, or maybe it was Montoya Por Favor, but it was very messy. It's a very messy concept of a show. So I'm excited to see how messy it gets. So that's what I've been watching.
That's kind of funny that you brought up Temptation Island because I just realized like the Spanish version of it because like my host's mom, she'll be watching reality TV sometimes and she'll be talking about La Isla de la Tentación, and I just realized that like it's the same thing.
And now we're gonna get into our song of the week. So my song of the week, it's a Dominican song. So it is called Me Gusta by J1 Lomiel. And OG D Troyello. Sorry if I butchered that. I don't speak Dominican Spanish. So I'm gonna play a part of it that I really like, but the whole song is a vibe. Like, catch me in the Dominican Republic this summer, because like I need to be dancing to these songs on a beach.
And then for my song of the week, it is Stone at the Nail Salon by Lord. I like recently rediscovered this song and I love Lord, but like specifically in this song, her vocals, they just sound so good. And anyways, here's my favorite part, which is actually like the opening of the song. And anyways, that's my song of the week.
LOL at our song of the weeks being completely different vibes.
Yeah, I saw the names and I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Now, as you guys heard our song of the week, now we're going to get into our Q1 recap. And I hope we don't trigger any corporate girlies using the Q1 term. But basically, we got inspired by Hannah Elise's videos. She does like she does quarter recaps. And so this is our first one. This is from obviously the first of the year until now. So we're just going to update you guys on like our lifestyle, or based on like our vision board, like how well we're doing with working towards those goals, books that we've been reading, songs we've been loving, our top 3 shows from this quarter, and some changes we want to make for Q2.
Yes, and we're probably gonna be rambling a lot, just getting things off our chest, seeing how we're doing. So just sit back. Maybe this inspires you to do a little reflection on how you've been doing so far this year.
Exactly. Reflection is always good. So I don't know. I guess more so I can just talk about lifestyle based off my vision board, because I feel like I need to like base off my answers off of something. So let me pull that up.
That's exactly what I'll be doing. Got my vision board pulled up on my phone, my little lock screen.
See, I would do that, but I am notorious for accidentally hanging up on people. using that little button. So, I'm not going to risk it. And I'm going to go into Canva and I'm going to pull up my vision board document.
I guess I can go ahead and start. Okay, so if you guys didn't check out our little vision board, not manifesting, our vision board episode that we did with like our New Year's resolutions or whatever, go ahead and check that out if you guys want to see more of like what we're talking about here. But I'm gonna go over the things that like I have been accomplishing on my vision board, and then we'll go over the things that I can work on, do some improvement, touch up on it. But just kind of like walking or like doing kind of like exercises by myself and everything, I have been doing that. January, I was really good. I was going to the gym. I have not been going to the gym since January, but I have been going on like daily walks and everything, getting all my steps. I've been trying to get like 10,000 steps every day. So I have been up and active and moving. And then podcasts, me and Kennedy over here still podcasting. That's still happening. And I feel like our platform's kind of been growing a bit. So, we're still working on that. And then travel, I've been traveling a lot, which I'm really happy, honestly. I've been seeing new places. And there was this one little like quote that I had on my vision board that I put, "Make it happen, girl." And I feel like I'm making it happen. Not just like with traveling, but just like life in general. I'm really like trying new things, challenging myself and stepping outside my comfort zone in that sense. Reading, if you if you know, last year reading was not happening for me. But I am been reading. I have been reading. I think I've been finishing like 2 books a month, honestly, at least. So I've been doing really good on that and just reading new things. And then I have this quote about stop waiting for everything to be perfect to be happy. And I feel like I have really been embracing this idea of just like taking it one day at a time. And there's beauty in everything, like even though it doesn't seem perfect, like you're still doing things. So I have been doing good on that. And then just kind of like vibing. I have a picture of like just chilling and vibing, and I really have been doing that. And then doing things for myself. I have been doing like a lot of like independent things, like going on walks by myself or like taking myself out to get like a pastry or something if I'm feeling it, a little macaroon, but just things like that, small things for myself. I've been doing that. And then like everyday jewelry, I have been doing that. I've been working on my little outfits and everything. So those are the things that I have been doing so far that I put on my vision board.
So, based off my vision board, I have a lot more that I need to work on versus things that I have been completing, I guess you can say. But I guess I can save that for like the changes we want to make for Q2 part. But of the few things that I have done, let's see. Okay, so first I see a picture of New York City. Actually, I have like two pictures of New York City, and check. It's official that I'm going at the end of May, so I'm super excited about that. I just miss New York City. I just feel like there's so much that I missed the first time. Like the first time it was very like touristy. I mean, the second time still gonna be very touristy, but like I just didn't get to see everything. And so I was like, maybe I don't want to live in New York City. But then I'm like, okay, but like you can't judge it off that time because you really didn't get to explore much beyond like Midtown. So this time we are like we were gonna go to Brooklyn and just a bunch of other neighborhoods that we didn't get to last time. So we'll see. If New York City's still on the list, but like even then, like it's just a really cool place, and there's just so many places I want to try, places I want to see, and things like that.
Do you have any guests joining you on this trip?
No, I'm going by myself. No, I was playing. Yes, I do have a guest joining me. So this trip is like kind of like my grad gift for graduating college, and then plus my aunt's husband's like birthday gift. At the same time because his birthday is like the day that we're leaving, I think, or like someday on the trip. So it's like kind of combined, and like I've been asking him to go ever since we went there. And he is not American, so he's always wanted to go to New York City. So it's gonna be my aunt, him, me, and then my mom, and then maybe my brother. I don't know because he's doing a lot of traveling in May. So I don't know. My mom said that she convinced him not to go, but we'll just see. But yeah, I'm just excited to go.
Yeah, because I know last time you were complaining about your brother going, so I was wondering if he was gonna go this time.
Yeah, yeah. And then let's see. I have like some outfits of like some girlies because I just really like their outfits, and I feel like I've been I don't want to say leading into like fashion because like I don't dress fashionable, but I have found myself being more interested in fashion and like making an outfit, even though I'm not wearing anything extraordinary. You know what I mean? I don't know.
At them TikTok and little outfit of the week videos you be doing, you have been doing that, Kennedy. So check it off.
Yep. And then let's see. I'm like, a lot of these haven't happened yet. Oh, podcasting, of course. Me and Liz have a podcast. We're still podcasting strong, which is insane because it's like the 46th episode, which I'm like, why are we here? This is crazy. Oh, and then I do have a quote that says, just because it's taking time doesn't mean it's not happening. I feel like I've been trying to like reinforce that within myself that like, just because everything isn't happening like quickly doesn't mean it's not happening. You know, everyone's on their own timeline. And then I have a bookshelf because similar to Liz, reading was not a thing for me last year. I mean, I was reading, just not a lot. And even now, I'm not reading as much as I would like to, but I'm not like in a slump or anything. Like I'm reading consistently, but just like I don't know how to explain. Like I read before bed, so like I only read a couple pages before I'm knocked out. But it's like I'm not like feeling forced to read. Like I look forward to reading every night. So I feel like it's still some progress. But yeah, so I feel like that's kind of good. Like I'm getting back into reading. I'm feeling excited about reading. So I feel like we're gonna check that off. And then I'm gonna mention the F1 pictures I have, even though my life doesn't look like the pictures yet, because in these pictures they have paddock passes on. But these kind of like symbolize more than just that, but just like really just getting more into F1 than I already am, it understanding more things and just enjoying the race season as a whole because it's my first time watching it from start to end and just like leaning into making more like F1 content. I made one so far on TikTok and it actually performed really well. And I got like a follower out of it. So that was cool. But I just like I be feeling like imposter syndrome. Like do people really care what I have to say about F1? I like outside of the podcast. Like, could I really do it on my own? But yeah, and then I have like a Pilates things, which I haven't done Pilates, like been to a workout class, but I do go on a run. So you know we're making progress. But yeah, I feel like most of my pictures on here though are very work in progress. I do have a picture of like a very comfy setup, and I feel like I've been good at making my room very comfortable.
You know, we're only on Q1 and it's all a work in progress. And while I said I was doing a lot of things, we'll get into all the things I haven't done. Okay, and now we're gonna do a little book recap of what books we've been reading because, you know, last year no books are being read. Our recap would have been crickets in the background, but we got some progress. And honestly, I like how what you said, Kennedy, about you're not rushing to read, you know, like you're reading, but like you're taking your time, but you're enjoying it and you're not in a slump. That's exactly how I feel like I've been too. I feel like there's no pressure to like reach a certain goal or anything because I'm not in a slump, you know? Like I'm actually getting things done. I'm actually going through it at my own pace, which honestly, that's the way it should be when it comes to reading.
Exactly. And it's like I set a goal for this year, but I'm not like stressed out. Like I used to be so stressed, like, oh my gosh, I need to finish it. But like I'm just like, I'm just reading my books. Like if I hit it, that'll be nice. And if I don't, it's whatever.
Exactly that. And I went ahead and pulled up my Goodreads to go through it. Side note, I do not like Goodreads' little update to the reading challenge. You can't see your friends what they're doing, and I always love going through and like seeing what my friends are reading and everything, or like how they're doing on their challenge. And I don't know if you still can, but I haven't figured out how to do it. But anyways, so far up to this point, I have read a total of 5 books, which I'm 50% done with my reading challenge goal of 10 books. You know, I really lowered it because of that slump last year. But anyways, the first book that I read this year was The Wedding People by Allison Espach. And I actually really enjoyed this book. I was a little hesitant and it took me a little bit to get into it, but I truly, truly, really enjoyed it. And I recommend it. I think you would like it, Kennedy. It was different from other books that I've read, but it was really good. For The Wedding People, I gave it a 5 out of 5. It was my first year read of the year, and it had like some heavy topics in it, but the way that it approached them in like a lighthearted way, but really like just got you thinking of like your life in general, which I feel like it just shows development in my reading compared to like books that I read like 3 years ago or something. But anyways, that was the first book I read that this year. And then the second book I read this year was The Ministry of Time by Kayleen Bradley, which was this was a really popular book last year, I feel like. And I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It took me a little bit to get into it, and I was a little confused by like the timelines because I feel like it would go from the past to the present, and then there's just a lot of characters in here. So I felt like there was sometimes, since I was reading it like kind of spread out, where I didn't remember who some of these characters were and I was a little confused. But overall, it was a pretty good book. And then the ending, it really had me like thinking too. And then the next book I read was Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. This was, of course, a 5-star read. I was debating reading this book or waiting till I got back home because I pre-ordered this book, as you guys, if you've been listening, you know, and I didn't know if I should wait till I got home or if I should download it on my Kindle. And I decided to download it on my Kindle, and when I get back home, I will be rereading this entire series from start to finish. So I'll get to read my, you know, my nice pre-ordered book. But 5 out of 5 stars, like I said, you know, it was perfection. It was everything I needed. And I'm actually listening right now to this podcast, like deep dive on it. And so many things that I missed, so many little details. And I'm so excited for the next book in like 2 years. But, anyways, then the next book I read was Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver. And why I kind of eat this book up? You know, I feel like I had this book compared to like the first two books I talked about, very different. Like the other two are like more deeper, you know, like deeper meaning. You're thinking about your life, like heavier topics. This one, the complete opposite of that. But I gave it 3.5 stars. Definitely was a little different because there's some cannibalism in this book. There's some murder, but it's not like the sole focus of it. At least the cannibalism isn't. It was a little weird at some points reading it, but I ate it up. I zoomed through this book, you know. Sometimes you need a little light-hearted, cheesy book, and this one delivered. And then the last book that I read was Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, and I gave it a 5 out of 5. This book, so good. Abby Jimenez again does not disappoint. I don't know, I was putting this off because I wanted to read like the physical copy. I will be rereading this book when I get the physical copy. It was so good. Kennedy, go ahead and bump it up your list. I know it's on there. So many like heavy themes and just everything. You know, Abby Jimenez, she knows how to give you like a little lighthearted, like contemporary romance book with some heavy themes and everything. And she did just that with this book. And then the current read that I'm reading is, so I just realized that I haven't updated my Goodreads a little bit, but I finished another book and it's Caraval, which is by Stephanie Garber, and it's the Caraval series. And I haven't rated it yet. I actually really enjoyed it. I think I'm gonna give it a 4 stars. And I started the second book, and I'm only reading this series because I want to read the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. But honestly, I'm eating this up. So yeah.
I actually was listening to a podcast and they were talking about the wedding people, and it was funny because the girl who was talking about it, like she went in for a completely different vibe, and then like she told like what the story is about, and it's like, well, I need to add this to my TBR. So yeah, I added it after watching that, and then I saw Hannah. She talked about it in a video too, so I was like, oh yeah, I need to read this book soon. And then Butcher and Blackbird, yeah, that's what it's called, right? Yeah, I've seen a lot about that, but I need to read that immediately.
The little cannibalism aside, book boyfriend Canadian. That's all you need to know. The stuff that this man was doing, yeah, acts of service.
I mean, I watched Bones and All with Timothy Chalamet, and that movie was crazy. So I think, so I think I'll be fine reading this book. And for me, I have read 5 books, just like Liz. Maybe controversial. I count DNFs as I read a book, especially if I made it to a certain part. I feel like 40 to 50% is a good amount to say that you read the book, because I DNF'd a book at 40%, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But the first book, y'all, we started the year off with a bang. I read Legend Board. I read Legend Born by Tracy Dion. It's a fantasy book with a little bit of romance. I ate up the romance. I do have to say, I literally binged this book, and it was like a thick book, and I ate it up so fast. I gave it a 5 stars. It's just really good. It takes a lot of inspiration from like the King Arthur stories, which I know nothing about, but the book explains it very well. And it was very good, had me hooked from the beginning. So I really recommend that series. And then immediately after, of course, I had to read the second book. The second book is called Blood Marked, and I gave it a 4 star. Wait, let me make sure I gave it a 4 star. Yeah, I gave it a 4 star, and the last 20% was my fave. Can't tell you what really happens because obviously it would be a spoiler, but really good. The third book I read was really boring. Like I didn't even read it. I had to read it for school. It was called Why We Buy: The Science of Shopping by Paco Hill. It's whatever. But I will say for a business girly, it did have some really interesting insights. And I definitely did see myself like it was a lot about like human behavior within like shopping and like the shopping experience. So I definitely like saw myself in a lot of it, which I thought was funny. And then I read Checkmate by Ali Hazelwood. I gave this book a 3 stars. It was very cute. I loved the mermaid character. I just loved how like upfront he was about it. I will say the female main character wasn't my favorite at times. She was a little bit too quirky. But I did like how even though this book was about chess, that Ali Hazelwood had me invested in chess. I was like, wait, why do I low key just want to like read more about the chess matches and like what goes on?
Why was it low key reminded me of the Queen's Gambit? I ate that show up. I wanted to play chess when I watched it. And when I read that book, I wanted to play chess too.
No, literally after reading this book, I was like, oh, I need to play chess and find myself a man. Like it was like really cute. It was like a good like palate cleanser after reading that boring book. And then this is where this is where things get a little cray cray. So the most recent book I completed was Final Offer by Lauren Asher. And I don't know why this book did not hit for me. I'm pretty sure I gave the first 2 books for both 4 stars. So I was like, oh, I'm really gonna like this one. Especially like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people would like this was their favorite. I didn't mind like Cal's like attitude like in the second book. Like I thought like, oh, like his book will be good. No, I had to DNF this at 40%. Like, I don't know why I was not connecting with this book. I don't know if I'm just kind of like changing taste in the type of romances I like, but I don't know. Like, maybe billionaire romances aren't for me at this moment. Like, I don't know. I just feel like if I'm going to read a romance, like, it needs to be kind of similar to like Ali Hazelwood's writing, maybe. Cause I'm like, it's not that I don't like romance, because I just read Checkmate and I ate up the romance part of it, and I ate up the romance and legend board. So like I don't know, it's not necessarily romance. I don't know. I just think it was like the story. I didn't really like the female main character, and I didn't really like the male main character either, to be honest. And I just like found myself trying to read it. I'm like, why do I not care about anything? Like sometimes when I don't care about the romance, I'm like, okay, maybe I can like care about the other aspects of the book. And I would read that too. No, I did not care. So I was like, you know what? I at least try to make it to 50%. I made it to 40, and I feel like, okay, I feel like I'm safe to DNF. If I'm not enjoying, I'm not gonna force myself. So I did it, and I still count it that I read it because I feel like, I read the reviews, and it sounds like they get together pretty quickly and blah, blah, blah. So I'm not missing nothing. And then I'm reading, I just started a couple days ago, The Nightingale by Kristen Hannah. And you guys, I'm so happy I started this book. It is so good. I started it like 2 days ago, so I just got a lot more into the story last night, but it is very good so far. Even though I'm like 5 chapters in, very, very early on, but just like, wow. Historical fiction books, yeah, that's for me. Like I'm just entranced with her writing already, and it's just very good. And I've seen a lot of people rave about that book. So I'm really excited to continue reading it.
I've heard nothing but good things about that book. And then on the Final Offer one, I read those books like a while ago, but from what I remember, I think that one was my least favorite. Everybody loved that book. Oh my god, my voice disappeared for a second. Everybody loved that book, and Cal, is that his name? Was their favorite. I out of all the brothers, he just wasn't given for me. He was giving the boy who got everything in life and doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, and then just like the more like spicy parts of the book, I didn't make it far enough to like where they, actually had an intercourse, but just like, like those little moments, I was like, this is so cringe. Like, this is like, no. Like, I don't know. It just was not my vibe. And I didn't like his attitude, and I thought it was kind of cringe. Okay, not to spoil anything, so like maybe skip ahead, but like the whole fact that like the whole town hated him, and like everywhere he would go, they'd just be so rude and nasty to him. I was like, this is so stupid. Like, this is so stupid. And honestly, I didn't care about his alcoholism problems just because I didn't like the way it was written. Like I've read a book where the male main character had an alcohol problem, and I actually was, like invested and like wanted to see. But this book, I was like, no, I could not care less, actually. So yeah, that's all for books. So now we're gonna get into like songs we've been loving. I'll let Liz take it away.
So I'm gonna go through this by like I think the songs I've added to my playlist or like playlists that I've made because those are the playlists that I've been listening to the most. But I have a playlist. It's called Slay, and the vibe is like kind of all over the place. Like it has a lot of like Lord and then like Role Model, Gracie Abrams, but a lot of like the songs that I've added, I've been listening to this playlist a lot of like Daniel Caesar, the Marias, kind of like that vibe, you know, just kind of like chill, your relaxing vibe. And I've added a lot of just some Kali Uchis, like older songs. Yeah, but I feel like with those three, you know what the vibe of this playlist is. So I've been listening to a lot of that, but a lot of like Daniel Caesar and Omar Apollo specifically. I don't know, their voices have just been soothing me. And then sometimes like on the bus or like the tram and everything, when I'm reading on my Kindle, I like to put in my headphones just to not be bothered, but also to put on like a little bit of music on a lower volume. And it's normally this playlist because their voices are just like really soothing and it's like really chill vibes. And then the other playlist that I've been listening to a lot is my Spanish playlist. And then the songs that I've added are, of course, Bad Bunny's new album. Been listening to some of those. And then there's this art. I don't know if they're like a band. I don't really know, but it's these two Spanish artists. They're called, I'm gonna say these names so wrong, but Ale and Yorgaki, I don't know, but I've been listening to them a lot in this playlist. And then in my other playlist that I've been listening to a lot, it's called my Música de Señora, which is like my Spanish songs that like my mom would listen to playlist, I feel like. So like older songs like that. And this playlist, it just be hitting. Does not matter the time of the day. Sometimes those like throwback songs that like your mom would listen to, those like older songs, they're just what you need. And that's like the music that I've been listening to in these past couple months.
So for my song, so I don't really like have specific playlists for like moments of time. I just kind of have like playlists off of vibes, and then I just like go through all my playlists and listen to like different songs from them. On Spotify, they have like the on repeat playlist that they make for you and like curate like it's continuously updated to songs that you are loving at the moment. So I'm just looking through that, and it's pretty accurate. The first song they have on here is Miss Possessive by Tate McRae. Yes, I am still listening to that album. Yes, I'm still listening to that song. Yes, I still listen to some songs every day. And have I gotten tired? No. I love it so much. Like Miss Possessive is literally just me in a song, I guess. Nokia, that was my song of the week. I think maybe like last week, the week before, I don't know. Very much still listening to that. The song that I did today, been loving that. I've been starting to kind of listen to Doechii. A song that I really like of hers at the moment is Alter Ego. And just honestly kind of like some older like rap music I really been loving at the moment. Like Party Like a Rock Star. Yeah, that hit. Jug by Fetty Wap. Push It by OT Genesis vibe. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mostly just been listening to like rap and like very poppy music. Yeah, that's pretty much my vibe right now. That's like my vibe for music for the winter, honestly. I'm very weird. Like during the winter and like colder months is like when I listen to all my like hype music, and then summer warmer months is when I listen to like my sad girl emo music. So my vibe is just really poppy music and rap at the moment.
And I was just gonna do like a little TV show wrap up. You guys keep up with our TV shows on our what we're watching segments, but we're gonna give you guys our top three shows that we've watched so far. I had to like think really hard of what I've watched because it feels like so long ago.
Honestly, I have short memory span because I watch so much stuff. So honestly, it's probably gonna be stuff that I listened to recently, and then when I think back, I'm gonna be like, oh, like why didn't I say that? So I'm just gonna go off what I've been listening or watching recently. So I'm gonna go with Adolescence just because that was genuinely such a good show. Like it had me in a chokehold, and then honestly, Apple Cider Vinegar, that was a really, really, really good limited series as well. I just love Netflix limited series, I guess. And then third, I feel like I low key have to say like a reality show, but The Traders. The Traders was really good. See, we said top three shows. Okay, I guess I can't say. Maybe in quarter two, I can say shows that I finished, but those are all shows that I finished because there's some shows that I'm watching right now that I'm like, oh, like that was a really good show, but like it's not finished yet. So I'll talk about those in our Q2 wrap up. But my top three shows would be Adolescence, apple cider vinegar, and the Traders. Those had me this quarter.
So my three TV shows for this little months that we've been doing or whatever is first Gilmore Girls. I have been really bad and have not been watching Gilmore Girls. It's been put on like standby. It's on the back of my mind. But honestly, my tried and true. Whenever like my current shows are boring me, I'll just go and continue watching Gilmore Girls because I have to finish it, you know. And so first Gilmore Girls, just the vibes all around. Second, honestly, Drive to Survive. I really enjoy watching this show, especially just like knowing that these are like real people and everything, and just like seeing it. And like I said earlier, just where I'm at in season one and seeing like the progression of everything, I'm really excited and I really like this show. And honestly, it's giving me better insight into like how F1 works because I feel like when you're getting into F1 or like stuff about the drivers and not so much like behind the like logistics and everything, it can be like really overwhelming because there's so much to it. So just this show kind of like gives you some background to go with. And then I can't think of the life of me of another show that would make top three. I'm like trying to think of what else I've watched, but honestly, nothing's coming to mind. So we're just gonna leave it at my top two.
And next, we're gonna get into things we want to change for Q2. There's a lot of things I want to change, especially with the warmer months coming up. But I'll let Liz go first.
So I'm kind of gonna base mine on my vision board and things that I have not been doing or that I can like accomplish better. And first off, I'm going to do more like workouts. Like, yes, I go on walks and everything, but like I don't really do like any workouts, hence me being sore from literally riding the camel and holding on. It feels like I did a whole arm workout and I was at the gym lifting and everything, but I wasn't just because I have no strength in my body. So just doing like small, like low intensity things, maybe getting into Pilates and things like that, which I really enjoy doing Pilates, but just doing more like health based things rather than just doing cardio. Because while cardio is good, it's not everything, you know? So doing that. And then another thing, my piercing situation, you guys. I have on here that I want to do more like jewelry. And while I have gotten into like wearing more rings, wearing necklaces and things like that, the piercings are still the same. We just have one if you guys are watching on the video. So hopefully in Q2, there's another little friend. They're getting lonely up here. Start building on that. And then onto some more like deeper things. I have a little section on my vision board where it's like beyond, kind of like career or like school and all that kind of stuff. I need to figure that out. Yeah, the whole I am attracting my dream job to me, or I'm qualified for the career I want. Yeah, I need to get on that. I need to stop putting that on standby and like actually do stuff with that. So, yeah, hopefully Q2, which will be in June. Yeah, hopefully in June I have a more update for you guys on that sense. And then so the next part that I have on here, and Kennedy also has this on hers, and I didn't hear her talk about it earlier. So the whole little like putting more effort into like the whole like relationship thing or whatever. I know me and Kennedy in these past episodes, I don't even know when we talked about this. We said like, oh yeah, like we want to like, take matters into our own hands. I should have never said that. What was I thinking saying that? Because now I'm sitting here and I'm like, what am I? Back then I was like, okay, that'll be don't I said don't ask me how, but I'm gonna do something. I'm pretty sure that's what I told you guys. And again, don't ask me how, but nothing has happened and I don't know what the next steps are. But I guess I gotta like do something. I put it out there. It literally stares at me on my phone, you guys. Like, yeah. Kennedy can like talk about it more on hers because I know she didn't say nothing. I didn't peep nothing over there. But I want to work on that some more. Again, don't know how, but just I actually need to like put it out there, same with like the career stuff. I feel like all those things I need to start somewhere, and then I think just like doing like those things because I've been doing really good at doing like, I don't want to say superficial things because it's not superficial, but doing those like easier things I have been doing, and like they do challenge me and everything, but I'm kind of avoiding the extra challenging stuff, the stuff that's gonna make me step out of my comfort zone more. So Q2, I'm hoping to really get into that kind of stuff and stop ignoring it because I have my toxic tendency is out of sight, out of mind. So yeah.
Oh Lord, Liz would bring up the dating thing. Anyways, maybe we'll get to that later. But a lot of things I want to change on my vision board. Let's see. Or not change, but like want to make changes towards. So let's see. First thing, I have a YouTube plaque on there. Guys, I have been slacking recently with my YouTube. I have not uploaded in like over 20 days, but it's bad because I literally have two full vlogs at this point that just need to be edited. But I just feel like I've just been taking, I just have been focusing on school and like the podcast and like internships and stuff that I just like, I have time to edit, but I'm like, I'm just so tired. I don't want to look at my computer anymore. So I haven't done that. So I'm just like, I need to better fit that into my day and discipline myself. Cause it's, what's that quote? It's like nothing changes if nothing changes. I know I talked about like, oh, like I would love to be like a content creator in the future. Like that would be really cool. But it's like, girl, how you gonna be one if there's no content? You know what I mean? So I just need to be really disciplined and like be back on my grind because I really do love editing. Like it's so fun for me, but like I don't ever want to make editing feel like a chore. So that's like why I hold off on it because I'm just like when I'm in the mood to and like feel like inspired to do it, then I will. And then we'll go back to the podcast mics because even though we're podcasting, I want to get better at posting on our social media. But again, I just get sidetracked and tired, and I just don't be feeling like doing it, to be honest. And then let's see, Pilates machines. I just really want to actually like go to like a class where I'm going for grad school. There's a solid core, and I really want to like try to get into that. Maybe not all the time because I know it's expensive, but maybe they have like class pass or something I can use or like a free first class because I really just want to try it and see if like it could be my thing and tone up. I have a lot of kind of like career slash internship things. So far it's not looking too good, but I guess it's not something I can necessarily change, but something I need to put more effort into. And then like I had like a girl like looking like a queen studying. I have been horrible with like being disciplined enough to like study. I feel like just not as good as I have been in past semesters. I think it's because I'm a second semester senior. I'm just like, who cares? Like as long as I have an A in this class or like I'm passing, I'm good, to be honest. Let's see. Healthy body, healthy mind, healthy soul. I feel like that's something I want to work on because I feel like I've just haven't been living the best healthy life. And like I even have like healthy fruit. I just haven't been the best at working out and eating the best, I would say, which honestly, I'm not too worried, honestly, about like what I eat. Because I feel like in general, I'm kind of mindful. Like, I don't eat terrible, but I feel like I could definitely work out more. Like I definitely have the time to. I'm just like lazy. I'm tired. That's literally what it is. And I would just rather lay in bed than work out. So I just need to get better at that. I don't know how relationship thing. You guys, I don't know what happens to me. Like I get into these moods where I'm like I just feel like ready. Like I could see myself having a boyfriend, but now I'm at the point where I'm just like, that's literally the last thing I would right now. Like I just want to focus on myself and school and just like do what I need to do so I could get into the rooms of the men I would actually want to date. Like I don't know, it's just like being in college, I'm just like no one here I would want to date, like for real. For like I always like, oh, like this person's cute, like oh, class crush, but like literally like realistically like no one I would really want to date. So it's just like my person's not here. I don't think my person, okay, I don't want to count myself out and be like my person isn't in Kentucky, but I feel like chances are never zero, but they're slim, you know? So I'm just like, I'm just really not worried about that, you know what I mean? And like, I just feel like if I were to meet someone here, like they might be more inclined to stay in Kentucky, maybe. Whereas I want to move out the state and have a lot of dreams and ambitions. And like, can I find a man that would like really be there by my side and want to grow with me and like just really want to be those people, that couple, you know what I mean? I have a girl meditating. Y'all, I haven't meditated once. Girl, and I really want to, but I just like find it hard to like take myself seriously, honestly. I guess we can go back to the F1 pictures, like, girl, make that F1 content. Just do it. But low key, we're like 10 days away from another possible TikTok ban. So it's like, we'll just wait and see what happens with that. Cause remember, girl, we just on probation, you know. We wasn't out for real. So who knows what that is all about.
I like completely forgot that that was like a little pause. You know, I learned my lesson though. I won't be deleting the app on my phone, so I'm chilling.
Yeah, and then I guess that's pretty much it. I do have some pictures with friends I'm like, oh, I wish I could see my friends more, but like that's not really possible. So that's not something I can really like necessarily change. But maybe for the summer, just maybe have more intentional hangout and just really make efforts into creating my dream life in quarter 2 and just being more disciplined. Oh wait, I don't think I ever really finished my thoughts on dating, but I'm just like not in the dating mood. Like I just don't feel like looking for someone. I'm not feeling that way. Especially like I'm scared I'm gonna accidentally have a conservative Trump supporter fall in love with me because I've been seeing too many TikToks about it. And it scares me because I'm like, why are they going after people? Why are they going after women of color? And they're a Trump supporter. Like, I'm scared. Like, I'm actually scared. Oh, and one more thing. I want to get better at reading the Bible. Okay, that's all.
Yeah, what Kennedy said, honestly, it's one step at a time, no rush. If it happens, it happens. And everything.
And me and Elizabeth might find our men in South America, so.
We've moved on from the European continent, you guys. We're making improvements.
No, for real. Like literally, it started in America. Then we went to Europe, and then I kind of went back to America. But I'm like, no, we're going to South America. We'll see where my crushes lead me next. But right now it's South America. So if any South American boys want to hit us up, we're here. Preferably if you are. No, I'm just playing. Well, that's all I had to say about changes I wanted to make.
And that is the end of our little Q1 quarter one recap. We're gonna see where we're at in Q2, honestly. And it's not like we need to get this together, like we need to do this. It's more so like, okay, this is where we're at. We were 3 months into the year. Now let's do what we can improve on in these next 3 months. That's kind of like the whole mindset of like the little quarter recaps, Like things are working out, but there's always room for improvement and for taking on new things. So thank you guys for listening to us ramble because we yapped a lot today. Yeah, anyways, if you made it this far, you are a real one. Make sure you guys are following us on all of our socials, and we'll see you guys next week on the Girls Lounge. Bye.
Bye.